Well, good morning and welcome. On Saturday this week, I went to the ocean for a spacious grief ritual. It's an all-day ritual that's been handed down by my teacher, Sobonfru, from the Dakar people of West Africa. And um, it's a pretty intense, long thing. And it was at the ocean this time. Usually we're indoors. And it was really wonderful to be at the ocean and to do this kind of work at the ocean. So I want to invite you today a bit as we are looking for fluidity in our bodies to let the things that might feel a little stuck keep moving and not be stuck, that we will channel some ocean today, if you will. So first, I invite you to take any little movements you need to be relatively still and surely at ease and comfortable in any seat. Once you are, give a little root down into the earth of your body. Maybe let your eyes settle on some nature in the distance or in the room, or just close your eyes and draw your awareness inward. If you are looking inward, I invite you to invoke the memory of the ocean. I'm sure you've sat before and just stared at the waves and just absorbed those negative ions and the washing that we get of our energy body when we are near the ocean. And begin to imagine, if you will, that far horizon, maybe shimmering a bit, maybe with clouds or colors, and the ripples that you can see from far out, the little crests of waves, the variations in the light and the textures of the ocean. And then the waves as they grow and come closer and get bigger and curl and crash onto rocks and the shore. Add to this, if you will, the oceanic breath of Ujjayi. Bring a slight closure into the back of the nose and throat. Ujjayi breath, the victorious upward rising or today waves of breath washing the body mind. Slight closure in the back of the nose and throat so you hear the sound of the ocean. And imagine into those waves, washing towards you. The waves of the ocean, the waves of your breath, creating the negative ions or the alkalizing state, the calming state for the nervous system. We wash body and breath and awareness, and we remember our body as the body of Earth is at least 70% water. And just pause there, if you will, with how cool that is. This body of Earth and our physical bodies, pretty much the same amount of water as compared to other matter. Remember your body of Earth, the powerful ocean waves of your breath, moving the waters of your body to heal and renew. Hear, see, feel, imagine into the memory yourself as an ocean of consciousness, ocean of bliss. Expand your view as wide and far out as you can. Again, slowly seeing those waves building, rippling in from the horizon, cresting in variations of light and texture, and slowly coming towards you, maybe gathering momentum and intensity and rising up into big curls and crashing onto rocks and the shore. Hear the sound of your breath, hear the sound in the mind of your memory of being washed and soothed by the ocean. Imagine each breath washing your mind, noticing any repeating patterns, thoughts, whatever feelings are present. Invite them into fluidity. Feel these breaths like waves moving through your body. And maybe you want to begin to invite that to move your spine, move the pelvic bowl a little more fully, and begin to roll on the wave of the breath. Roll the pelvic bowl forward as you inhale, heart forward, and pelvic bowl back as you exhale, navel back, chin to chest, just rolling fluidly, organically. If it's speaking to you a little differently, then please listen. Listen to those waves. Listen to the wisdom of the waters of your body in the pelvis. Here, as we move into this dark moon, into the subconscious, into the dreaming waters of our being, the emotional, sensual, creative waters of our being this week, as we move towards the new moon on Thursday, we feel the waters of our body maybe getting heavier, drawing us deeper, stilling maybe a little more. Maybe we feel the emotional waves that are inviting change, reperspecting, letting go of the old, landing in the dark of new beginnings. And if you're inspired to take that in circles or any other variations, please do. We've got a couple more minutes here, like maybe 12 more breaths of moving upon the waves of the breath in our seat. If you're circling, I invite you in the next breath or so to switch directions or to switch the cross of your legs wherever you're at. Notice and begin to notice more and more the unconscious habits where we sit or lean or hold ourselves in one direction or lean that may be creating biomechanical patterns in the body that are speaking to us through pain and discomfort, or maybe emotional patterns of thought or reactivity or some such thing that we can notice and pause and choose to switch. Please stay as you are. Slide on over to the right. Let's go into that right side body. You can hold steady in that right side opening or directly into waves of breath and big waves of arm. Inhaling, opening, exhaling, closing. Inhale that rising and roll of the wave, and that exhaling, that receding, drawing back to the earth. Last breath or two in this way. And let your next breath pull you on through, straight on over to the other side. Press in and let the breath lead you. Let your next inhale or so pull you back up and pause, touch down to the earth and ground. Notice the effect of your movement, of your breath. Maybe stay with that ujjayi, but just soften things a bit for a moment and become receptive, inquisitive. Back to our view of the ocean, our remembrance of ourselves as ocean of bliss, ocean of consciousness. Next inhale, open wide and gather up that great wide view, that remembering of your vast infinite self, and bring the hands together in center and focus down this one moment, this one breath, this body, this heartbeat. Pause at your heart and feel your heartbeat. Resume your deep, full breaths. Long, rolling ocean waves of breath. What essence of our nature, of our being, what energy or heart quality would you choose to meditate on in this oceanic meditation today? What would you call up from your depths to listen to? Breathe into that. Imagine it present tense. You're being washed in it with each breath. Send the breath and your awareness with this washing into any areas of body, mind, physical, or energetic that want some attention, some washing, some spaciousness today. Exhale and pour your breath out. Inhale, great big ocean breath and long vibration of consciousness. Pranava Om. Twice again. Let's pour the hands out down to the earth, roll on through, pressing into the back of the hands and open back up, pouring the hands out down to the earth, roll through the palms there and back of the hands. So rolling through the front and back of the base of the hand. Emptying out, you can kind of scoop up through your heart and then empty out, offer it like a wave, scooping back up from the earth through your heart, emptying out like a wave, rolling the wrists, emptying out the heart. Continuing with those ujjayi breaths, or the breath I just did with the different kind of wave breath. A few more. All the way down to the earth, and unwind yourself as inspired. Let's come to lie on the back and welcome Ariel. As usual, any requests or check-ins are welcome in the chat, or you could come off mute, but we are recording, so you know. Great to see you. As you come to lie down, just hug into your knees and give yourself a little hug, a little rock and roll around. Feel your spine, your back body, your earth body, staying with that oceanic breath, sensing in to the entirety of your being. Can you feel the breath into the back body, into your spine? Any movements here? Yes, thank you. I love to see that. Maybe you're drawing circles with the knees to massage around the lower back, and especially bring your attention into those areas that are talking to you, into those areas that may be a little more stagnant or dark as we dive into the darkness this week with this new moon. What wants our attention? What is calling the light of awareness in our body, minds, or in our lives? Breathe into that, listening to the unseen, listening beyond words. What's there? You could draw circles as well with the knees wide, one hand on each knee, opening wide and back together, massaging into the hips, feel into your deep hips and back body again, diving in to the depths of our being today. if you've been moving one way with the knees or the hips or the lower back, just see if there are any other ways. Find your creativity here that lives in the pelvis, in this second chakra. Let us be led today by that creative energy, by that sensual, life-giving, even sexual energy that inspires us forward in life, that desire, that creative spark of being. And rock and roll around there with your lower back as long as you like. Once you feel complete with that, step the feet to the floor, elbows alongside of you, work your shoulders on the back. Lift the chin here and give yourself a nice strong foundation, a nice plug into earth. Feel your earth body, your strength, your container, how you are held and supported. And into that or over that, we will breathe again our sky and our ocean body. So when you're ready, with the heels under the knees as wide as your hip points, root into the heels and inhale, lift lower back, middle back, upper back, chest, chin, keep the chin lifted, exhale, ripple down, upper back, middle back, lower back, hips, scoop the pelvis forward and then back in, waves of breath, waves through the pelvis and the spine. Watch out for the knees getting wide. Try to keep that engagement of your container. And go at whatever pace feels right for you. Feeling into that ground of being, the dark, the earth, the unknown, and also the ability to lift up out of that and get a wide view and shine the light of awareness to where we usually do not see, allowing ourselves both the maybe pain of heaviness as well as the remembrance of our innate joy, our lightness, our ability to remember ourselves beyond the body, beyond the experience of this body, while living, dancing with, and being in the fullness of this embodied experience. Let's go a few more breaths with this wave of spine. From the earth, ocean breaths lifting us to sky and rippling back down. Next time you come back down, let's step the feet wide, reach the arms up overhead. Inhale both knees to one side, reach and lift and engage the navel as you go to the side. As you exhale, bring the knees back through center. Inhale, keeping some engagement in the navel. This is a little different than how I usually cue it. So we're protecting the lower back. If this feels right for you, great. We're also, as you engage the navel with the inhale, encouraging the breath a little more into the side bodies, into those places that are usually more in the dark, concealed. Please stay primarily as your focus today with this ocean breath, long, steady, ujjayi waves of breath. Everything else riding on top of that breath. Everything else a wave of experience that arises from this ocean of your being, that arises from your vastness and not one limb or one striving of efforting, but a full body connected ocean that ripples out a wave of breath, a wave of shape or movement, a wave of inquiry, of investigation. And even as we expand out here, remembering our fullness, that center, that wholeness that we are. Sometimes as we expand out into a certain limb or point of experience or investigation, we can forget that wholeness, that ground of being, and get caught up in this limb of experience or aspect of being. So stay and play with that, or play with it, reaching out a little further as you roll to one side. Maybe that top leg picks up and pushes out to the side. Again, use that navel contracting back on the breath here as you reach to one side. As we go side to side, you may want to, as we go bigger here, engaged in the core more. So you may want to use the exhale to the side. Engaging core as you reach the foot out to the side, and then you're rolling through those outer hips here as you do that. You could stay with that nice and mellow if you choose. Pick up both feet. Maybe pick up both feet away from your hips. Maybe slide the elbows down to shoulder height. So you're more supported by the arms here to help keep the shoulders grounded as the knees go side to side. Maybe one leg pushes out to the side, the other one's on the floor. Maybe both knees are picked up towards 90 degrees. If you want to add to that, begin to extend the top leg while hugging the knees together, still in that 90-degree angle for at least the bottom leg. Let your breath lead, engage the core to the side. Oceanic breath, reaching for those edges, strong waves of investigation. Or more gentle waves. What's right for your body today? We've got another 6 breaths or so, another 3 or 4 to each side, so maybe 7 breaths. And do what you need to even out. And then either just roll on over to hands and knees or hug your knees in and rock and roll forward and back until you come to hands and knees. Rolling forward and back, maybe across your ankles to get to hands and knees. Find your way there, however you do. And then let's press the hips back to the heels. Give your hips a wiggle and wag into your tail. Breathe your lower back. Inhale and stretch back, and exhale as you slide forward. Knees, chest, chin like a wave, booty in the air, and then ripple it down as the heart lifts, the chest lifts, and exhale back to your child's pose. Waves of breath here, moving through Anahatasana, knees, chest, chin, booty's up, and then chest is down, chest is up as the hips come down. Moving through this could be bigger or more mellow, as is right for you. To everything moving from that point of light in your navel, around the navel. The Tantien, the Bindu, or point there just below the navel. A red light at your center, at your lower center. Slow and steady. Ripple through. Stay with that, or once you come back to heels, hips to heels, maybe begin big circles, hips out to the side. Ujjayi breath, ocean breath leading the way. Exhaling back in, inhale, hips out to the side, chest forward, hips to the other side and back. Drawing big, big circles to wash out the lower back here. Again, you're led by that navel bindu, the red light and the deep center there. Next time you come to the back, switch directions. Couple more in this direction. And pull back, child's pose. I would suggest holding one wrist with the other hand on the low back and ground yourself here. Feel your earth body touching back into the stillness beneath the waves. Remember, once you identified with the waves, each experience or aspect of being maybe we thought is what we were. Each experience of emotion or human process. And now, as we become more seasoned in our practice, we know ourselves, that stillness beneath the waves, the entirety of the ocean of bliss having waves of human experience. Waves of identification, of thought and feeling. And as we deepen in our practice, we deepen into this ocean, we can see the waves. We can allow ourselves to still feel them all and have the fullness of our human experience and to not get caught up in the turbulence more than we need to or want to. We take pause to notice. Notice when we're caught up. We take pause to notice. Notice and remember ourselves beyond these experiences. Simply breathful here, or maybe switch your wrists if you haven't, and take 3 rounds of Brahmari or bee's breath, the vibration of consciousness again to wash the mind. Exhale and empty. Inhale your yes, your intention. Inhale next, extend the arms out in front of you. Exhale, lift from the navel, come up to hands and knees. Claw the fingertips, spread those fingers wide and really claw the fingertips. Bend the elbows ever so slightly and scoop them towards one another. From that action, see if you can feel the shoulders rolling away from each other and a nice strong spaciousness between the ears and shoulders with an integration of the shoulders into the back body. Try to keep this connection here as we turn the toes under and lift the hips up and back. Pull back from the hips, strong core. And take any movements here to dial into this pose, including coming back down to hands and knees and re-engaging the hands, elbows, shoulders, finding that spaciousness and connection. And we're going to play in the next couple breaths with moving from down dog into plank. So first, you're going to Pull back from the core and inhale. We want to lift from the navel and round the lower back, middle back, upper back, and then unfurl, flattening out, and the head unfurls into plank. Feel into your plank. If your feet or hands need to walk out further, please do, and that's where you want to keep them when we move into down dog. Again, inhale, pull back from the navel, in down dog, strong core. And exhale, lift from the navel as you come up onto the balls of the feet and round through the spine. And then the pelvis tilts, navel lifts, lower back smooths out, heart melts down, head unfurls like a wave here. Inhale, pull back, strong, strong core. And exhale, round through your spine like a wave coming towards the shore. If you need to, you can lower the knees. You're welcome to be on the forearms if you need to. I encourage you to claw your fingertips and make the hands really strong. Rise of your breath, another 6 or so breaths, or in child's pose as needed. Ocean breath, ocean mind. Washing the body mind, washing your experience in this great, powerful ocean of being. And then lower your knees down. Press back, child's pose, or any grounded shape that feels good for you. You could just lay on your belly. We are going to move there next. But maybe hold your wrists again and ground the low back, ground your forehead. Dive in with inquisitiveness. Last inhale here. Float the hands down and follow your exhale to ripple forward onto your belly. Elbows under the shoulders, legs straight out. Pull with your forearms, press into your sacrum. Again, feel that earth body, the groundedness, the rooting at the center of your being in the deep waters of your pelvis, your second chakra, your creative center. And from that place, drag the breath forward through the heart, courageously shining out from this rooting, from this dive into the remembering of ourselves in the deep, dark waters. And back of the neck is long. Long wave of breath, long spine as we rise up out of the darkness. Not to leave the darkness, to stay connected to this wisdom, to our subconscious, to our inspiration, to our nature, our essence. Keep dragging forward, pick your elbows up and lower down. Rest your forehead and interlace the hands on the sacrum. Push the sacrum down, and from that rooting down, bounce your elbows and shoulders to the sky. Again, really try to keep that connection to earth here as we rise with a wave of breath up out of it. Inhale and squeeze palms together and lift them up and back towards where ceiling and wall meet. Squeeze the legs together, lift the thighs, lift your chest. And maybe that's your inhale, and the exhale comes back down with the whole body, or just reintegrates pelvis, pubic bone into floor. Inhale, open. The exhale could melt you down all the way or just a little bit to reintegrate. And then inhale, find as much lift as you can. We're going 3 more breaths. Allow the fluidity to happen. No rigidity here. There's some engagement, strength, rooting, holding. And over that, waves of breath. So not complete rigidity, although there may be some structure. Crucial. We find the waves of softening over it. Exhaling, we're back to the earth. And inhale with the hands under the shoulders. Pull on the earth. Pull the elbows and shoulder blades down the back. Reach the head forward. Find as much space as you can there between the shoulders and the ears. Push into pubic bone and sacrum and inhale and open. And keep, you can pulse in and out. Point your toes back. Keep pulling on the earth and drag your heart forward. Ujjayi breath. How's your core engagement? How's your connection to earth? How's the breath moving the body here? Maybe it's a tiny pulse in and out and not the whole thing. Maybe it's the whole thing. Last couple breaths. And press back, child's pose. Breathe your lower back. Again, maybe you rest the hands on the back. Any waves of breath, vibrations of breath. Next, inhale, unwind the arms back out in front of you. Exhale, toes under, lift from the hips up, back, downward dog. Inhale, pull back from the core. Stay connected to that ocean breath meditation. Next, exhale it, ripple you forward. Again, find that placement of the feet. And here we're either going to shift forward and roll over the toes into up dog, or knees could be down. It could be much more gentle. And then we're going to pull back again from the core, rolling back over the toes. And maybe the roll over the toes doesn't work. It could be a step. Find what's right for you. Inhale back. Exhale, we're slowly rolling forward into plank, through plank, over the toes, and open into up dog, cobra, or knees down. And exhale back. Follow your breath, slow, slow and steady, finding that transition between downward dog, plank pose, and up dog or cobra. Big inhale in the opening. Big exhale in the transition. Big inhale to come forward. Let your breath lead. About 6 more breaths. Last breath cycle or so like that. And then we're going to make our way either onto all fours or into down dog. Inhale from a strong down dog. Pull your right leg up and back to the sky. Exhale and curl in, knee to the nose, rippling forward. Claw those fingertips, shoulders over wrists. Inhale and pull back, strong core. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, curl in, squeeze, and inhale up and back. Let your breath lead. 5 more. Take your time. On your last one, we're going to curl in, lift that knee as high as you can, and then land the foot in lunge. Find the hands strong on the earth, up on fingertips or blocks. Squeeze those inner thighs together, shoulder blades down the back. Inhale here, and as you exhale, melt the back knee and the head down. Inhale, pull open. Exhale, melt down, back knee and head towards the earth. Land if you need to, you could pause there. Or inhale, open, and exhale, melt in. 4 more breaths. Waves of breath, waves through the spine and the back leg. We'll follow another inhale to come up into your lunge. Squeeze those inner thighs together, hug into the core, plug in again, find your steadiness. Pause here. Inhale and reach out from the back heel and out through the fingertips, long line of energy. Who are we here? What does it take to be engaged here, present with whatever sensations, feelings are present? How's your breath, your jaw, your tongue? Long inhale, reach through the back heel. As you exhale, pick that left hand up and root the back heel down. Find your warrior 2 stance. Back foot comes parallel at the back of the mat. Front knee bends deeply. Front knee right over the ankle. Hug in to shine out. As much as you can, keep that front thigh moving towards parallel. Lots of muscular action in the legs, hugging into each other. Back foot rooted, arch lifted, strong core. Full body breath. Please stay steady here or bring that wave of breath through waves of spine here, reaching, inhaling, back arm back, exhaling forward or slower if you like. And you might invite a little wave through the arms, even as you bring this wave through the spine over the strong, steady, relatively still foundation of your legs. Let's give our grief to the ocean. Let it be expressed and felt and moved upon the waves of our breath. Last couple breaths in this way. Next time you pull back, pull all the way back and straighten that front leg. Next time you reach forward, reach all the way forward, deepening the groin, fingertips to shin, block or earth, and lay back. Trikonasana, triangle. Find that sacred geometry of your body, the strong hug of feet to earth, muscles to bones, and everything to center. You can look up at the top hand, down at the bottom foot, or straight ahead. Where does the neck feel good? Head could even hang out, and you could reach the top arm back. Find clear lines of energy. All lines activated, hugging, shining out. beneficence, the goodness of life flowing through these lines of energy from all that is, all the sages, saints, seers, siddhis, yoginis, and wisdom masters of all time and space, flowing beneficence to you and goodness flowing back out from you along these lines, back out to all your beloveds, to all those who'll come next. Remember yourself right here. What magic is here? What shaking is here? What awakening is here? What release is here? What knowing ourselves in new ways and waves is here. Last few breaths. Big inhale as you exhale. Let's reach that top arm forward. Inhale and stretch that side body out as much as you can. And next exhale, pick that back heel up and pivot. Inhale and look forward in your lunge. And exhale and step forward. Inhale and press into your shins and half forward fold. And exhale and fold. Next, inhale, bend into your knees and roll on up like a wave through your spine. Inhale up tall. Exhale, bend into your knees, seat back, chest forward. Let the arms flow down. Let the head go with that. Inhale, roll up. Open chest. Exhale, bend and angulate yourself, if that's a word, and rounding. Let the breath lead. When creative center is leading, new things might happen, including new words. I know triangulate is a word. I'm not sure about angulate itself, but here we go. Boobies, boobation, and then round. Wave of breath. Wave of body. Washing the body mind. Last couple. We'll meet standing. Take your time at the top, root down, open wide and gather up. Exhale, center and focus in. Strong mountain. Feel your feet, the strength of your legs, the strength of your spine, your core, the bright lift of your heart, and the softness in your eyes, jaw, tongue, shoulders, washing down the back body. And inhale, lifting up the front body, and exhale like a wave, like a waterfall of energy, just washing through your spine. Letting go of the past, letting go of what you're done with, letting go of anything sticky in your spine. Honoring what's before you. Honoring what's coming next. Honoring the steadiness of your heart to be present with curiosity and wonder. Next inhale, let's sink the seat low as we lift the heart to the sky. Exhale, seat towards the height of the knees. Inhale, press and rise, standing and back bend, again with an engagement of the core. And then exhale, swan dive forward, lead with your heart. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, place the hands and step or jump out of plank pose. Inhale, strong core and plank. Move as you like through your vinyasa or just to downward dog. Take pause in your down dog or again on all fours as we move into second side. Draw back from the navel, strong core, little bend in the elbows, scoop them towards one another, wrap the shoulders. Next inhale, grow left leg up and back to the sky. Next exhale, like a wave curling forward, left knee to the chest or nose. Inhale, like up and back. Exhale, curling into the nose. 5 more. On your last one, lift that knee as high as you can, curl forward, and land the foot as light as you can. Find your lunge. Pull on the earth or blocks, shoulder blades down the back. Reach out through the back heel and the crown of the head with your inhale. And as you exhale, little waving melt to the floor, back knee and head down. Inhale, pull back open. Exhale and melt. Your breath leads. 4 more. And then take your time. Hug in, strong core. Squeeze to center, lengthen out. Keep that stability there. And as you're ready, we're going to reach that right arm forward and up as you pivot that back heel down, open up into warrior 2. Find the engagement in your warrior 2. Feet hugging earth, feet pulling towards one another, muscles hugging bones, everything to center. As much as you can, that front thigh moving towards parallel, knee over the ankle, and look out over that front hand like you're looking out again to that wide, far horizon. And remember yourself vast, expansive, having the experience of each wave, and at the same time, remembering ourselves, the source of the waves. Keep that strong hug to, and as inspired, let the breath move waves of spine, waves of arms. Again, maybe getting fancier little ripples of waves through your arms. Make it yours and get creative play. And take your time. Last breath or the next time that you pull back, straighten that front leg, push into the foot. And next exhale, reach forward, deepening that groin. Reach as far forward as you can, and then fingers down to shin, block, or earth. Top arm up from a straight line from the bottom arm. Scoop the shoulders down, lay back. Find your sacred geometry in your body right there, or reaching back, bottom V. Clear lines of energy from center shining out through the great web of consciousness, the great pattern of consciousness that connects us all. Clear lines of energy flowing back to your heart, to your pelvic bowl to the bindus of light at these points. And the sparks of divine, of mystery, of wisdom beyond words. 3 or 4 more breaths. Last big inhale or so. As you exhale, pick that top arm up, reach it forward, back heel up, inhale, stretch that top side body and pivot into lunge. Find your lunge. Find that squeeze to center, inner thighs, hug to core, long spine. Inhale there and follow your exhale to step that back foot forward. Inhale your back body, exhale, lift from the navel and roll on up. Inhale, heart open, seat down and back. Exhale, roll in, curl in, lift from the navel and roll up. Waves of breath through waves of spine. Last couple breaths. And then take your time. Step your feet wide, and when you're ready, come down into Malasana, yogic squat, garland pose, Malasana, dirt pose, depending on what syllable you emphasize there. It's either dirt pose, which I think is great, coming on back to the ground, or garland pose, in which we wrap our arms around the front and reach around the back. In theory, someday you hold your hands behind you. Maybe the backs of the hands just rest on the hips, or hold the back of the heels and turn into yourself. So any variation here of Malasana or Malasana, to pause, feel your body, your animal body, the cravings, the sensations, the pains, the deliciousness, the creative impulse, the protective impulses, and the yearning for remembering ourselves whole, united, connected. Thank you, Earth body. Thank you, animal body, for all of the experiences, for all of the sensations and feels of this dance of life. This is what we're here for. Consciousness at play, inquiry, curious. What else? What else is it to be human, to be in this body here and now? Please stay as you like, or gently, bam, seat to earth, unwind. And we're going to come feet together, knees wide. For most of us who are not very flexible in the hips, you may want to sit up onto a block or a pillow in this way. For those of us who are more flexible here, and maybe you don't feel much of a stretch here, or there's laxity in the hips area, then maybe use the block. So options here: feet together, knees wide, some activity in the feet so the ankles are straight and strong. Sitting up higher so that the pelvic bowl can pour forward and you're on the front edge of the sit bones. When we're at our furthest edge, we are going to, of course, be with the waves today. Options also just to be still and feel into what's there. If you want to get a sense of more stretch or engage more in the core, then you're going to use a block or something firm between the feet and push into this point of contact. Press, press, press into it and feel that core engagement, that stability, that plugging in to your center, your strength. And stay with the feet just pressing or pressing into a block, and either upright, drawing low back in, heart forward, or move with the breath, pouring the pelvis forward as you exhale. Again, lift from the navel and drape up. Inhale, pelvis pours forward, heart forward, and exhale, rounding waves of breath, waves of spine. If you want to go bigger at any point with the stretchiness, you could turn your block to the wider width, middle width, or even the very width if that's right for you. It's not right for me unless I'm playing just with stretching there. So we're not going to build that today unless you choose to. Otherwise, just pressing into feet or foundation. You could stay with the fluidity here, or reach forward at any point and stack up elbows, fists, or just the head on the block in front of you. Waves of breath, maybe waves of spine and pelvis. Maybe you find that pause in the relatively still place at the bottom of the ocean of your being, and just come back to ground. Moving with the experience of breathful waves. About 8 more breaths in pulsation or stillness. Try to be with that Ujjayi breath either way. Stay with the wave or take pause in stillness if you haven't yet. Guide the breath into any areas of resistance, contraction, or sensation. Imagine the breath going right there, both listening for that knowing or information beyond words, as well as delivering that wash, that embrace, that blessing of your yes, I am. Please stay with that as long as you like. Use any inhale to gently press in, drape up. Remove your block if you have one. Maybe remove your prop that you're sitting on. We're going to come into a twist. So if you know that you want a prop for the twist, then please take it. And then for this twist, either it's up to your body here. My body's asking for the bottom leg to be out. We're going to extend that bottom leg out or bend the bottom knee with the foot coming outside the left hip. That's with the bottom leg being your right leg. Hug into the top knee. Possibly that's your left knee. Press down into both feet and lift the lower back. Wiggle in a bit and feel both sits bones, the connection of those bones and the center of your glutes. Push them into the earth. Stay plugged in here to your power center. It's not about how deep your twist is. It's about how tall the spine is, how connected you are to the center. And then we can wash that center with a spiral. So maybe left hand comes next to that left hip, right hand or elbow hugs into that top knee, root to rise, lift, lift, lift. Inhale as you exhale, draw the lowest vertebrae together, draw the lower belly and the low back together. And then begin to spiral from the lowest vertebrae. One vertebra at a time, slowly moving up through the middle spine. The head's going to turn last, so try not to let the head lead. That's just going to get you right into the most flexible parts of the spine. We want to keep rooting down, hugging to core, and lifting up. And one vertebra at a time, investigate what feels good. Ocean breath, listening beneath the waves, and listening to the waves. Does this wave say, come on? Or does this wave say, stay there? Sense, breathe, wait for the ride, and that's yours. Wait for the breath to invite you to go a little deeper. Let this twist be sacred, not any old twist, any old day. Same old spine, new spine today. Fresh breath, deeper intuition, lengthened breath, lengthened spine, spiraling one vertebra at a time. One breath, staying rooted, stay connected to center as you investigate this new aspect or perspective on self. 4 more breaths. Any variations that are safe, connected, inspired. Take your time, come on back to center. As you do, stack your knees up. This again could be with the lower leg extended or the lower leg bent, knees stacked up. So Gomukhasana or the straight leg variation. And again, try to wiggle as evenly as you can into your sits bones. If they're very uneven here, you might give yourself a little lift and maybe even mold the blanket so you get more of a lift on the heavier side, more of a grounding on the other side. So essentially what we're trying to do is balance out our seat, balance out the sacrum, and then hug into that knee. If you'd like to, you can go knees wide with the ankles and feet stacked, or stay here in this little tucked. You're welcome to bring the elbow or fist or all of it, any props to your knee or forward of the knee. You could stay with the arms as they are or wrap them in a big hug, same arm and leg on top. You could turn that hug into eagle arms, spiraling the arms all the way and bowing in. Feel what's right for you. And then breathe. Guiding the breath into those sticky areas, normally unseen areas. Listening in to the waters of your being, your intuition, your creativity. As we dive into the dark this week, the new moon that we're moving towards is Aquarius, the water bearer. Also, kind of a star being that has a wide overview of things and tends to be of a revolutionary nature. What love or revolution could you inspire within yourself or your life or join or support in the world at this time? Listening in, another 4 breaths. Please stay as you are. Slowly unwind in your seat or bring the hands to either side of that top foot. Press down into the feet and lift up. Spiral your feet. Maybe you pause in a wide-legged stance and give that a little swim or wiggle, and then go the direction that you were going in. And take your time when you're ready. Second side, setting up for the twist. So again, first wiggling into your sits bones, bottom leg straight or bent. It's up to your body. I'm just going to do the same on both sides. And as much as you can, pelvic bowl pours forward. We're on the front edge of the sit bones. Wiggle into that top leg. Really feel yourself supported and centered here. Lift with a big inhale through the spine and hug in or find your center. Feel that plugging in, the connectedness to your center. And not just randomly twisting, but inspired, spiraling around that center when you're ready. Keep those sits bones rooted. Support yourself as needed to feel balanced in the sit bone and sacral connection. Inhale, press down. Lift and spiral from the lowest vertebrae, low belly, low back, hug together. And one vertebra at a time, we spiral each facet joint on top of the next, moving through center and upper, and the head turns last. Again, maybe just hug into that leg, keeping the connection to center, or really feel that connection of sit bones and core, and lengthen out one breath at a time. Length of the spine, most important part, and spiraling breathfully over that. Look back as far as you can with your eyes and breathe. Sensations, thoughts, emotions arise here. Who am I here now in this moment? Last couple breaths here, saying goodbye to things as they once were as we spiral to look behind us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the blessings and the gifts of those experiences, no matter how they felt. And we inhale back to center, open. If you'd like a little counter twist, when you're ready, stack the knees up. Again, bent or straightened, knees atop each other, or knees stacking up over the ankles if that's your preference. And listen to your body. Is there any support you need? Maybe a little lift of the hips. And give a little pull onto your top knee. Press into your sits bones. Lower back in, heart up, soft jaw, soft tongue. One vertebra at a time. Find your breathful edge. And again, maybe give yourself a big hug, same arm and leg on top. Maybe that spirals deeper. Last couple of breaths here. Come out sooner if your body needs, of course. Stay longer if your body asks you to. When you're ready to unwind, unwind slowly again with that curiosity and investigation. As you're doing so, listen in. What's next for you? Meditative seat, Shavasana, any supported final resting pose. Wind yourself back to a place in the next 6 breaths or so of any relative stillness. Maybe you practice giving your body back to the earth. Maybe you find a supported seat with the non-habitual. There I went, cross your legs. Noticing our unconscious habits. Noticing the requests from the body that are beyond words. Listening and responding with breathful awareness. Take the pause and listen inward. Maybe you breathe a few more intentional waves of breath. Yes, I am. Breathe your intention, wonder, curiosity, reverence for breathful being. And as you come to rest here, imagine, if you will, unless it freaks you out in any way, that you're slowly sinking down into the waters of the ocean. And you can still breathe in this special ocean of bliss, this ocean of consciousness. Your breath is easy. We don't have to worry about breath. We sink down into the waters of being. We descend below the waves upon the surface. And we feel as we leave those waves less tossing around, less turbulence. And we feel a growing stillness, We feel an invitation to soften, to land, and we can see in this more still place the churning of the waves above us, the chittavritti, waves of consciousness, the rolling waves of experiences, identifications, attachments, releasing. We see all of these waves and we remember that once we identified as these waves. We knew ourselves maybe once only as these waves. And as we sink deeper below the surface of the water, we can see the wide spread of waves above us and the deeper, wider spread of the ocean of bliss, the ocean of consciousness all around us that we are. Notice that you're being breathed. Notice that gentle, easy waves of breath are moving your body. Sense and remember yourself both as the one being moved and the one moving and the one that this impulse comes from. And with your present embodied consciousness, I invite and encourage you to say yes to this breath today with reverence, with wonder for the great ocean of consciousness, the great ocean of bliss that we are. Invite that remembering. And within it, yes, to the experience of each wave of embodied being. Yes, to the experience of dancing in this life and feeling all the feels. Letting nothing get stuck for too long. What is too long? Only we know in our own discernment, in our quiet pause. We might get suggestions from the world around us, but only we know. So, listening in right now to your breath. Do you want to stay still longer? Please do. Is your breath ready to move you? Is your body ready to move into the day? Please do. Let the breath move you whenever you're ready, back to any wiggles, sparkles, spirals, stretches, whatever is inspired. And pause in your transitions to remember, to question what's here. What does it feel like here? Who am I here? Who am I now? And pause in the transitions as long as you like. And at any time, come back to an easy seat. Feel again your center, your pelvic bowl, the red bindu of light there, your heart, great point of light in your heart, in the crown of the head, your expansive awareness, the point of a light there. May we know and discover and adventure with ourselves on all layers of being. Grateful ocean breaths to you, waves of bliss to your heart. At any point as inspired, exhale and empty. Inhale your heart and vibrate again the pranava, the plugging in consciously to consciousness. And take pause to bow into your heart, giving thanks to your body, to that spark of divine mystery within you. Bowing in and honoring to the same spark of divine and mystery within one another. Namaste. And to this beautiful planet and all her gifts of healing and teaching and inspiration, thank you. To all that has come before us and brought us here, thank you. Thank you for all of your sufferings, all of your pleasures, all the delights, all the learning. It's been handed down. Thank you. And I thank all of you. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for all that you bring to the world. Thank you for all your requests, comments, questions. Always. Namaste, beautiful humans. I adore you so. I'm going to stop the recording. I think you know how to find me if you're watching the recording. So reach out, please, at any time with questions or comments or requests. And have a wonderful day. Drink a lot of water.